Hello YouTube, Spectre here, and today's video is me and my bike, or something, close enough. So yeah, I saw Mr. Andy Mancam make this video. Of course Andy did it in his very eloquent and sophisticated way, dripping in charisma, so I thought, yeah, I'll give that a go. Basically, it's 10 questions you have to answer, based around what you ride, or what you have ridden more really, and your biking history. And as my memory sucks, I've gone for the technical method of writing them down on my tank bag. So, question number 1. When did you start riding? Alright, so I started riding when I was 16. My best mate, he got a lovely little Vespa, 50cc, and I thought, yeah, I want a slice of that action. I'd always liked bikes, but not to anywhere near the passion I do now. I just always liked them as, oh, that's a bike, that's cool. So I saw him riding, I thought, yeah, I want some of that. That looks a lot of fun. And I did my CVT. That was my first time riding anything other than a bicycle. And yeah, and then went on from there. Question 2, yeah, I've kind of answered again. Why did I start? So my friend had it, you know, inspired. I wanted to get a piece of that action. I wanted to go ride with him and take part in his hobby, you know. But also, I was sick of public transport. It's slow, it's unreliable, smelly, you know, it's full of annoying drunks in this place. So I wanted a way to get to college at that point, probably. Get to college, get to work, without having to fanny around with buses. So I jumped on a little scooter. And that takes me to question 3. What was your first motorcycle? Alright, so my very first motorcycle, technically, was a 1988, I think, Tomos A3 MS. It's a tiny Yugoslavian, good? Tiny Yugoslavian thing. Move, sheebies. Yeah, basically, some family friends had this thing in storage from their now grown up sons who had it at that age, basically. Been sat for eons. It had 0 balls. It was really slow, but we dug it out and we, you know, cleaned it off. And I say we, they. And I rode it for about 2 weeks, a month maybe. It just wasn't fast enough, basically. Like, not just it was boring me, but it was like dangerously slow. Like it would end up doing like 25 uphill, and you know, I'm a big guy. I've always been a big guy, so it's quite a weight for it to be lugging around. And I just sort of gave up on it. I said, you know, thanks for the offer, but this bike's had it. So my first bike that actually rode for any length was a Gilera Runner 50 SP, 2004-ish, I think it was. Which is actually the same bike that Andy Mancam started on, which I found out when I saw his video. So that's quite cute. It was like Chav City. It was the scrotiest scooter you'll ever ride. It's the full-on hairdryer Chavmobile. You know, it was actually quite fast for what it was, like top end. But it had no torque at all. Like I had to learn to filter because I couldn't go uphill in slow moving traffic because the bike would just stop. So I had to go on the side. It was something an experience. And it had the widest, like, fat boy tyres on the back as well, which were great in the dry and absolutely shite in the rain and on mud and just anywhere else. But you know, it was alright, and as much as it was chavvy, as much as it had graffiti carved into the dash from the last owner, and you know, and it sounded ridiculous, it didn't really let me down at any point. How many did you ride? yeah, nice riding. But I think it means how many bikes have you ridden, like in total. So I'll put up a tally on screen, can't be asked to count now. So I did my CBT when I was 16. I did that on was it a Zip 50, I think it was? Piaggio Zip 50. Then I had the Tomos. Then I had the Gilera. And then when I turned 17, I got a Honda CG 125. And I rode that for a couple of years. During that time, I renewed my CBT at 18. And I rode a Yamaha YBR Custom for that. I then did my A2. I did my A2 on a Suzuki GS500E, which was shite. And then after my A2, I got my first big bike, in quotes, which was a Yamaha Virago 535. And then when that thing expired and it cloud of steam, I got this bike, a Honda CB 500S. And I think that's it, yeah. And that's up to where we are now. Alright, question 5. Dream bike. So, there are a few bikes I like, you know, the Triumph Speedmaster, that's up there. And yeah, but there are plenty more, but my dream bike isn't actually a particular model. It's sort of a type of bike. My dream bike is a cafe racer, basically. It's my dream one day. I'm going to build a cafe racer. It will be my bike, it will be personal to me. It will suit what I need it to do, it will suit, you know, my body frame and such. I'll be able to put my personal touch in it. I'm going to talk about this in a different video, so I won't go too far into it, but I just love, not just the looks, I do love the looks and the handling as well, which sounds quite fun, but the personal touch is what I like most about cafes. Then to put your own mark on it and take a bike that possibly isn't designed to do what you're doing to it and make it better than what it once was. And that's just a great thing to do, I think. You might save a bike from the scrapyard, or, you know, save it from a mundane life. It'll be a while before I do that, because I have precisely fuck all mechanical skills, but one day. Question 6, off-road or street? This is very easy for me, street. Off-road, the only off-road I've done has been on a little quad bike and a little pit bike, on grass and on mud, you know, not on anything, not done any trails or anything, not done anything particularly fast, just riding on a field, but it's just never appealed to me. I don't really like dirt bikes. I don't, you know, I can look at most bikes and I can go, yeah, I can see what that does, and I can see how people enjoy that, but dirt bikes, I just look at them, I'm just like, okay, it's a dirt bike, and I'm sure it can handle some knocks, and I'm sure it's fun off-road, but it's just not for me at all. So I think I'll stick to street riding. 7, ever fallen off or been in an accident? Yes, with every bike. It's really fucking tragic. So what have we done? First one, I never crashed the Tomos, actually. I never crashed the Tomos. Well, I mean, I was only riding it for, you know, a very short period of time, which is probably why. Yeah, so Gilera, that was my first accident. Country road, big muddy line in the middle. I had to cross it or go onto it for whatever reason. I massively fishtailed, fannied around, you know, managed to catch it, and ended up on the other side of the muddy line. And I said out loud, "Oh, that was close," and then crashed. It was properly tempting fate that time. Yeah, I slid down the road. It was only about 15, 20. It wasn't exactly gunning it, but yeah, I slid down. I was absolutely unhurt. I wasn't even bruised. I had full like coat, gloves. I even had trousers on at that point, armoured trousers. And yeah, I slid. And ironically, the mud lubricated my slide somewhat, so it wasn't too bad. The bike was a mess. Well, actually no. Mechanically, the bike was fine, more or less. Apart from the exhaust being all fucked up. Aesthetically, it was ruined. All the casing was cracked open on the side and all scuffed up, and the foot plate where you put your feet sort of thing. It had, it's like it's plastic paddles, but it had a metal plate in the middle. And the metal plate bent and stayed bent, so there's just a giant gap there. And it wasn't pretty. And then my CG 125, again, muddy country road. It was only walking pace that one, and I dropped it. I bent the foot peg up, and let me get right this corner. Yeah, I bent the foot peg up, and then we couldn't bend it straight, me and my friend, so I had to ride my foot like right up in the air, looking like a complete idiot, to get back to his farm. And I rode it for a few months before I found out I'd bent like the forks and the wheels and stuff. I'd done a fair amount of damage, to be fair. It was kind of awkward, really. I was like, why is it pulling really sharply to the right when I brake? Yeah, that was why. So the next one was the Virago. I was leaving a Texaco petrol station in the rain. Giant diesel spill, like all over the place. And someone let me out. I said thank you. Accelerated, and next thing you know, I've 180 and I'm on my ass. And I broke. What did I break? So I knocked the front brake out of alignment and had to get that sort of taken apart and back together again. The throttle was jammed on. That was an easy fix, it turned out. The casing was cracked, like the side of the engine. I don't know if it. Thank you. I don't know if it was cracked, but it was pissing oil, certainly. And yeah, fuck Texaco. Long story there. I'll tell you about that in a different vlog. But those guys are real cunts about it. So yep, that was that. And then this one, I pulled out onto a side road on a steep hill with the engine not warmed up properly. Stalled it, had nowhere to go with my foot, and just, you know, fell over, stationary. Yeah, the damage was minimal. It was only the indicator, and this bit of fairing up the front here has been damaged in a previous crash from the previous owner, and that was sort of re-broken, but it wasn't too bad. When did I start motovlogging? That's question 8. Okay, so it was August last year. Yeah, so in August last year, I got my camera. I didn't really intend to start motovlogging like this, speaking, because I thought it wouldn't be particularly interesting for anyone, or wouldn't be able to think of a topic, or, you know, that sort of stuff. Which is partly why I got the SJ4000, because I didn't think I'd need a mic input. So, I shot myself in the foot a little bit there, but oh well. But yeah, so I've been doing my compilations, my onboard Respector series, since then. And obviously, if you count motovlogging as just talking to the camera, that's quite a recent thing. It's only the last sort of few weeks, month, that I've actually got a mic setup that works enough for me to start talking to the camera. And I'd been watching motovlogs for years though, before then. Like right since when I got my scooter, I was starting watching motovlogs. So Baron von Grumble, which I think is what Andy said as well, actually. So it shows how much of an icon that man is. But Baron von Grumble was my very first person I spoke to. And this leads me into question 9, actually, channels I follow. Yeah, Baron was the very first person I subbed to, I think. Either him or Spicy. I've been subbed to Spicy since his mid-Betty days, so I need to look at the timelines to work out which came first. I watched so many, like my subs list is over 100, it's probably 150, 200 subs, and almost all of them are motovloggers, so I'm not going to sit here and list everyone, because I'm going to forget people, and I'll be here all day, let's be honest. You know, it's late evening now, it'll be morning before I'm done. So, just a few important ones, really. Baron, because he was my very first. Andy my account, I've got a lot of affection for him. He does some very good stuff. Smo, official Smo IOW on Twitter. Yeah, very good channel, great content, really high quality, you know, high production value stuff. He's I think he's on about 10k now. Deserves another 0 at the end of that, he really does. He does some Twitch live streams as well. He normally does them on a Wednesday and Friday, nice and regular. You know, just great channel. He's recently had some shit luck, so just go send him some love. Check out his content. You're gonna love it, I guarantee you. I won't go into this too much because I have got another video planned specifically about this, people I follow. So, rounding up, Cornish biker. I've mentioned him in most of my videos. Very funny guy, very nice guy, genuinely, you know, in person. Very generous. He's obviously helped me out with this setup. And, yeah, very good. He literally just today, I think, hit 100 subs. So, massive congratulations to him for that. And look forward to seeing where his channel goes from here. And also Mr. Road Warrior as well. He always watches my content. And he makes some good videos. He's very funny. He's got a very dry humour. Always up for a bit of banter. So check him out if you want to see people falling off GPZs. Sorry, babe. And final question, does my bike have a name? No, this one doesn't. It's a bit too bland for a name, really. That's the only problem. It's a good bike, and I do like the bike. And particularly once I get the fucking restrictor out of it, maybe then it will solve a couple of the problems I have with it. I'll probably do a video about this bike at some point and do the sort of 10 things I love, hate about it. But it's a good bike, but it's just a bit bland. You know, the power's very linear and there's no real character to the engine, there's no real character to the bike. It's just a bog standard commuter. That's good at what it does, but it doesn't sort of move my soul so much. Whereas the Virago, as much as it was short-lived because of mechanical issues, if you're watching, guy in Penzance, you sold it to me. Fuck you, dude. I will snap your fucking spine if I see you. But anyway, that bike, it was a V-twin, had a lot of sort of torque low down and a lot of character to the engine. It was bright orange, white stripe. It had these like lovely, almost straight exhausts. It was very loud. Great big wide, like it was a really small bike. The Virago. It's not a big cruiser. It looks like a 125 cruiser, just in frame size. But it had these like great big drag bars on it, so it was a proper like wide out, you know, oi type job. So it was a lot of fun. So that bike I did have a name for. That was Emma. And typically I named it after a woman, and it therefore fucks me over. But rookie mistake. So yeah, that's me done. At this point, you're supposed to tag people. I'm going to open it to everyone. Anyone who watches this wants to do it. Give it a go. If I have to tag someone, perhaps Cornish Biker and Road Warrior, just because I've mentioned you in this video. And I think you guys can be very funny with your responses.